Okay. So we don't have Hercules. So let's try again. So we said like scan. Okay, scan for Hercules. So Beowulf is there's something here. He is the perfect warrior, combine extraordinary strength. Skills like Hercules. Ooh, we found it. Very nice. We found. You see, I tried here to find it, but couldn't. But when we focus on scanning for the name here. So he said it's perfect warrior. So here, like Hercules. So they didn't talk about dragon. They didn't talk about speech. They didn't talk about they live the same time. Talk about what? Yes. Both are ideal heroes. Ideal, perfect heroes. Okay? So next. The word exhibit. Exhibit. In the passage, in the close in the meaning too. Okay. So let's read it here. Finally, the Beowulf poet exhibits the mature appreciation of sincerity. To exhibit. So exhibit means what? Exhibit. Okay. So create, demonstrate, assume, terminate. Okay. So is it terminates? No, it's not terminates. Very nice. Is it creating something? So exhibit a mature appreciation. Creates appreciation? Oh, I don't create appreciation. Assumes. Does it have assumption? Does he get exhibit? So the only one is demonstrate. Because it explains. Demonstrate means explain. So here it explains that thing. Okay? Go next. Demonstrate. The word reject. Reject, that means what? Refuse. So just the meaning what? Manage, evaluate, refuse. Very nice. So to reject, despise. Reject, despise. So it's always reject is the close in the meaning for what? So without thinking, refuse. So some of the questions you need to look for synonyms. Synonyms for them. Like for example, reject is equal to refuse. Demonstrate is equal to explain. Exhibit is equal to explain. That's the thing. Go next. Refuse. Okay? Now, look at the 4 squares that show where the following sentence could be instead in the passage. Moreover, they disagree as to whether this Beowulf is a copy of an Arial manuscript. Where should I put it? So they disagree as whether it's a copy or not. So we need to find a place for this. So let's read the first place. By the time of Beowulf's poet, Anglo-Saxon society in England was neither primitive nor uncultured. Okay, so he's not talking about Beowulf. He's talking about the society here. The first one, okay, correct. Okay, let's go for the second one. Although the Beowulf manuscript was written in about AD 1000, okay, so although it was written about AD 1000, so it was not discovered until the 17th century. Scholars do not know whether Beowulf is the sole survivor epic. So here, he was talking about when it was written. So they disagree whether it's Arial copy or not. We need some to talk about Beowulf. So, do not know whether Beowulf is the sole, talk about Beowulf, surviving epic from a flourishing Anglo-Saxon literary period that, yes, produced other great epics, or whether it was unique even its own time. So, copy over earlier. So we're talking here. Yes, you see here, many scholars think that the epic was probably written somewhere between the late 17th century and very nice. So here we found the place. The place here when he was talking about very nice. When he was talking about it's unique or not. So when it's unique, it's not unique, so it will be a copy. Very nice. So we try to find it here. So scholars do not know whether Beowulf is the sole surviving epic from flourishing Anglo-Saxon literary or a literary period that produced other great epics, whether it was unique, even its own time. Moreover, they disagree that whether it's the Beowulf copy or not. So I found a place that he talked about Beowulf, and I thought about it. Okay? So next. Directions. Now, that's the kind of question that Mr. Medhat explained in the reading part. So, what is that? He wants you to what? Range. Very nice. For 2 points. So, an introduction for a short summary of the passage appearing below. Complete the summary by selecting the 3 answer choices that mention in the most important points in the passage. Some sentences do not belong to the summary because they express ideas that are not included in the passage. Or minor points for the passage. Click on the box under the summary sentence, then click on the answer choice that you want to drag to the box. Okay? To change the answer, click on the answer again, it will fade away. Now, let's read the answers. Let's remember, were they in the passage or not? So let's read the first answer. So, the first answer here is what? Yes, the Northern men were adept in crafting tools and weapons made of bronze, but the Celtics were superior in designing and working iron. Was this mentioned? Now let's go for the second one. In the Viking invasion of England, the Danish arms destroyed monasteries, some of which contained the extensive libraries. Correct? Okay. So, King Hrothgar and Beowulf became friends at the end of their life after having spent decades opposing each other on the battlefield. Okay. Let's go next. The poem chronicles life in Anglo-Saxon society during the Bronze and the Iron Age when Germanic tribes were invading England. Okay. Although Beowulf was written by an anonymous poet, probably a Christian, about 1000 AD, it was not found until the 17th century. Okay. Beowulf is still interesting because it has engaged characters, an adventurous plot, and an appreciation of human behavior and relationship. Now, which of these 6 was talking about them, was talking about that idea, can summarize the whole thing? So, the Northern men were adapted like crafting, but was it summarized in the passage? I don't think so. Now let's go next. Now, the Viking invasion of England, the Danish armies were destroying or whatever. Yes, it was an info, but it does not summarize the thing. Now let's go for number C. King Hrothgar and Beowulf became friends at the end. Okay, but it does not summarize the thing. The poem chronicle, okay, the poem chronicle life, the poem chronicle life in Anglo-Saxon society during the Bronze and the Iron Age when Germanic tribes were invading England. Yes, so that's part of what they said. Let's read the second one. Although Beowulf was written by anonymous, yeah. Beowulf is still interesting because engaged. Yes, very nice. So both of them are summarizing. Why? Let's get to know the reason. Now, E, T, F are summarize the passage. Why? Choice A is true, but it's a minor point. Okay, it's not that important. Now, let's go for D. Choice, refers to a major point, which is D. The poem was Chronicle Anglo-Saxon. Now, choice B is true, but it's a detail that refers to a major point, which is, very nice, E. Okay, and explaining why. Choice C is not clear from the information in the passage. In the passage, okay, they didn't say if they were friends or not. They didn't say anything. Okay? So, that's an example for a passage that might happen to have in an exam. So that passage might be in an exam. So, that's one of what, maybe 3 or 4, as we said before. We said 3 or 4 passages. Now, let's go for the next passage. So, finish that. So, we said what? Like, do you remember what did we say about the timing for the reading? What did we say? Let's try to remember. So, what did we say about the timing of the reading? How many minutes? And how many passages? And how many words? So that's something important. All of these are important. Why? Because in the question, I should not take more than 1 minute. Why? Because my friend, in the introduction, and Mr. Met had talked about this part, he said what about the reading? He said about the reading, that the reading, it has like 2 parts, and the whole reading takes 80 minutes. 80 minutes on 3 passages, that means each passage should take 20 minutes. So if you're talking about 20 minutes, so I need to finish them fast. I need to finish them each passage. If I have 3 passages, I finish each passage in 20 minutes. If I have 4, I finish it in 20 minutes, but the whole amount of time will be 80 minutes. Very nice. Okay. So how many minutes did we spend? We spent with the explanation, we spent about like 25 minutes. Good, with the explanation. Let's go here for the next one. According to paragraph 1, the most fundamental adaptation to maintain body temperature is whatever. Okay, let's go for this thing and let's understand what it's talking about. So we have a paragraph here. This paragraph talks about I'm so sorry. So this paragraph I talk about thermoregulation. What means thermoregulation? Now let's find something clear about this paragraph so we can actually try to read it and understand the thing. Okay, of course, that's something here. So let's try to go through the paragraph without skimming, and let's try to explain it and solve the questions without reading, as we said. So according to paragraph 1, so that's paragraph 1, the most fundamental adaptation of maintaining body temperature is the heat granted by the metabolism. A shivering reflex in the muscles, migration to a warmer environment, higher caloric intake, too much heat loss. Okay, too much heat loss. So let's try to find that. Mammal, what are the mammal? Mammal like the creature that like gives birth. Mammal, both generally, let's skim read that thing. So the heat generated by the metabolism. Let's find a metabolism. Let's scan for metabolism. Here, so this maintain warm CO. What's that? Okay. So we have here the word that he wants. He wants what maintains body temperature. What maintains body temperature. Very nice. So to maintain body temperature, the most basic mechanism is the high metabolic rate. Very nice. So we said it here. So the maintain of warm body temperature, the most basic mechanism for this is the metabolic. Okay. So answer A is correct. Very nice. The basic mechanism. So it's emitter polluter. Very nice. Go next. Okay, so based on the information in paragraph 1, very nice. Which of the following best explains the term thermogenesis? Thermogenesis. So let's go here. Heat loss that must be reversed. The adaptation of brown fat tissue in the neck. The maintenance of healthy environmental conditions that affect the metabolism. So which of them best explains the terms of thermogenesis? Now let's find the thermogenesis thing. Now thermogenesis. 1 minute to find it? Okay. You have 1 minute. Mm-hmm. 30 seconds. Yes? We found thermogenesis. Yes, very nice. Thermogenesis. Now when we find the word that we want, we read the whole sentence and scan for details and understand. So this non-shivering thermogenesis, NST, takes place throughout the body. But some mammals also have a tissue called brown fat in the neck and between the shoulders that specialize for rapid heat production. So here, okay, so does this explain anything? Oh, we need to go back. Very nice. So here in the previous sentence, in some mammals, certain hormones can cause mitochondria, yes, to increase their metabolic activity and produce heat instead of ATP. Very nice. So mitochondria. So it increased their metabolic thing. So here it affects what? Metabolic, because in continuing here he said this non-shivering metabolic, so this non-shivering thermogenesis. So in some mammals, certain hormones can cause mitochondria to increase their metabolic activity and produce heat instead of ATP. This non-shivering thermogenesis. Very nice. So in the choice is not correct about. Very nice. Not correct. Heat loss that must be reversed. Okay. How about in that second one, choice B? Choice B is not correct because the brown fat is one example that more generalized process. It's not thermogenesis. The maintenance of heat environment condition choice is not correct because the thermogenesis is responsible for environment, meaning health of the animal. Nice. So it's responsible for not healthy environment. It's talking about the heat. So conditions that affect the metabolism. Okay? Go next. Which of the sentence below expresses the information in the highlighted statement in the passage? The other choices change in the meaning of leave or important information. Now, so we need the highlighted here. Heat production is increased by such muscle activity as moving or shivering. So again, so for muscle activities, when I move my muscle, so I increase the heat. Very nice. Okay. Now, so let's read here. An increase of the heat production causes muscle activity. The opposite, so that's wrong. Muscle activity like moving and shivering will increase the heat production. Correct, that's what he said here. So heat production is increased by such muscle activities and movement. Very nice. So B is the correct choice. Okay? Passive. Very nice. Very nice. Let's continue. The word minimal, minimal. Okay, I know minimal. No, I don't know. So let's find it. So it's the passive close to the meaning to. Put it here. So minimal levels. So let's read the whole sentence to understand. So mammals and birds in cold environments can increase their metabolic heat production by such as 5 times above the minimal levels that occur in warm conditions. Most recent, most active, newest, smallest. So many. Yes, many always talk about smallest. Very nice. So the smallest level, the little. Okay, so small. So the word minimal here in the passage is close to the meaning. Okay, small. Go next. In the paragraph 2, the author explains the concept of vasodilation. What's this word? Vasodilation. What's this word? And vasoconstriction. Ooh, big words. So what should I do? So let's try to find this word and explain it. Okay? So let's try to find this word. You have 1 minute to find it. Okay? 50 seconds. $40 seconds. 30 seconds. 20 seconds. 10 seconds. Time is up. Okay, so let's go here. Yes, we found them here. Now, let's try to read the whole sentence to understand. Now, so sentence starts by here. Humans rely more on a layer of fat just beneath the skin as, yes, insulation. Goosebumps are very nice. Goosebumps. What are the goosebumps? You shiver because of, ghosts or something like that, right? Shiver. Goosebumps are visit. Of here, rising left over. Very nice. From our fairy ancestors. Now let's go here. Vasodilation and vasoconstriction are regulate. Okay, regulate. Coming from regulation. Regulate heat exchange and many contribution to regional temperature difference within the animal. For example, heat loss for a human is reduced when arms and legs cool is several degrees below the temperature of the body core, where most vital organs are located. Now, what do we understand from this? Now, it's like this. Now, he talks about two kinds of situations, two kinds of conditions. Let's read here. Describing the evolution of our ancestors, give an example of heat loss. Okay, in the explanation. I'm so sorry. Describe the evolution in our ancestors, given an example of heat loss in the extremity. Okay, comparing the process of humans and animals, identifying various types of insulation. Now, did they talk about various types of insulation? No, that's not. Comparing humans with animals, did they mention animals here? That's wrong. So here, describe an evolution of our ancestors, given an example of heat loss. Now, let's talk about the part here when he talked about ancestors. So for the ancestors here, he said like, or have risen left from our ancestors. So he's not talking about evolution, he's talking about that we inherited something. So given an example for heat loss. So for example here, he said, for example, heat loss from a human is reduced when arms, yes, very nice. So he was talking about the example here, so he gave an example about heat. Regulate in a passage is close in the meaning regulate. So protect, create, reduce, control. Now let's put all of these words here and try to do them. So vasodilation and vasocontraction also regulate heat exchange and may contribute to regional temperature. Protect heat exchange? No. Create heat exchange? Maybe. Reduce? Maybe. Control? Maybe. Okay, let's continue. To contribute to regional temperature differences. To contribute to regular difference. So regular, normal. So, and I contribute to regional temperature difference. I'm so sorry. Regional temperature differences within the animal. Regional here means what? Balance. Very nice. So it's balance. So is it create or reduce? Control. Thank you very much. So here it's control. Very nice. So he's talking about control. Now, according to the paragraph 3, why do many marine animals require layer of blubber? Paragraph 3, so that's paragraph 3. So I have 1 minute to find the information. Read here the answers first. Read the answers like this. Because marine animals have lost their hair during evolution. Because heat is lost in the water twice as fast as in the air. Because dry hair does not insulate marine animals because they are so large that they require for more insulation. Now let's read it here. I have 1 minute. 1 minute. Do it. "45 seconds. 30 seconds. 20. 10. Okay, very nice. So let's find it here. So we talked about it, blubber. So let's find blubber here. Blubber. Blubber. So let's read the sentence. So hair lost most of its insulating power when wet. Okay. So marine mammals such as whales and seals have a very thick layer of insulation called blubber just under the skin. Marine mammals swim in the water colder than their body for temperature, and many species spend at least part of the year in nearly freezing polar seas. The loss of the heat to water occurs 50 to 100 times more rapidly than heat loss in the air. And the skin temperature of marine mammals is close in the water temperature even so. Now let's read them. Because marine have lost their hair evolution. He didn't say anything about that, so that's wrong. Now, because heat is lost in the water twice as fast in the air. He said from 50 to 100. So it's fast twice. Okay, continue. Because dry hair does not insulate marine animal. Marine animal, they don't have a hair. Because they are so large that they require more insulation. They didn't talk about the size because the wheel is big, seal is small. So here it's what? Yes. Because heat is lost in the water twice as fast as in heat. Right.